Hello and welcome to Rando Rob. Each week on Rando Rob, I'll be showing and discussing one item from my large collection of collections. New shows appear every Monday, and throughout the week, I'll be adding older episodes of Rando Rob that were previously only available to my Patreon subscribers. You can watch episodes of Rando Rob on YouTube at youtube.com/Rob O'Hara. Just look for the Rando Rob playlist. Audio versions of the show are available on my website at podcast.robohara.com or through iTunes. Just search for Rando Rob. Thanks for watching or listening, and I hope you enjoy this vintage episode of Rando Rob. I'm going to talk about Star Wars, and I'm going to talk about my favorite character. Can I say that unequivocally? Definitely, when I was a kid, it was my favorite action figure, 100%. And that is the Biker Scout. Now, we had grown up seeing stormtroopers, Star Wars full of stormtroopers. And then in Empire Strikes Back, we saw snowtroopers. And we were like, snowtroopers? Are those the same guys? Are those the same people that are stormtroopers with just different masks and different suits? Or are they trained differently, you know? And I would say a close second would be the TIE Fighter pilot. The TIE Fighter pilot looks like, he's bad. It looks like a stormtrooper, but his suit's kind of baggy and it's black and he's got those gray things that hang down. I guess they're overall or suspenders that are hanging down or something. But that's a cool figure. I really like that. But the thing is, he's not in the movie that much. When you see a TIE Fighter pilots, it's mostly just, the helmet and guys that are flying inside the TIE Fighters. But in Return of the Jedi, we got the Biker Scout. And man, was it cool. First of all, the speeder bikes were just awesome. Of course, now we know that that footage was filmed with a guy with a Steadicam walking through California forest like this, and then they sped it up infinitely. So it looks like they were going through in a speeder bike. But the Biker Scout, he had that little pistol with the loop around it that kind of clipped to his side or went into the little side holster. That was cool. It was more like a chest plate and stuff, but you could see the black, and then it was armor all attached. That was cool. And then he had that cool helmet, right? Which you can see right there. So, Biker Scout was definitely my favorite action figure. It's tough to say if that's your favorite character in Star Wars because, first of all, it's a bunch of different guys. It's not a Biker Scout. It's like saying that a stormtrooper is your favorite guy, like stormtrooper number 57, that's your favorite guy, But as far as character design and stuff like that, Boba Fett, of course, would be up there now, but now Boba Fett is just everywhere. You see kids walking around with new T-shirts with Boba Fett on it. So, but the Biker Scout has just always been one of my favorites, and so I have a inordinate amount of Biker Scout Star Wars collectibles. I have a Biker Scout drone, which is the speeder bike, and then it has, but it's an actual flyable drone. I have a speeder bike that's the scale with the 12-inch figure. Is it 12-inch? I know I have the one with the 6-inch black, that series. So, I've got a lot of different speeder bikes. I've got a lot of different Biker Scouts. Somewhere, I think, on the top shelf up there. Yeah, right there is an 18-inch Biker Scout. By the way, I bought that is like 1/3 of the 18-inch figures that I have. So they're not going to fit all the way across those shelves. So what am I going to do? I don't know. But whenever I see Biker Scout guys, I always pick them up. I always love it. And so in the mid-90s, when they started coming out with new Lego kits, they released a kit that had enough pieces to build 2 of these. Now, there's some more that goes with it, and I do have the complete thing right here. But as you can see, this is a Lego speeder bike with a Biker Scout on top. He's holding onto the handlebars. He kind of sits right in there. And then you've got all the pieces right there for, there's my dirty fingers. Gross. And then it's made to where it will actually sit on the desk like that. There's a little kickstand there at the front, and so it will just kind of sit there. One of my favorite Lego kits. As a kid, I never had the actual speeder bike. So I tried to make a speeder bike one time out of some Legos and stuff, and it didn't look this good. But man, I just dig this thing. And so the Lego kit comes with enough pieces to make two of these, and then there's a little green platform that has a palm tree on it, and then it has Luke in his Return of the Jedi outfit. So you can stand him up, and they can take swipes by, and he can stand down there. So this is I always love these. It's small enough I could just put it here on my desk. But there's a million things I'd like to put on my desk, and so it'll just end up getting in the way. And plus, being Lego, I'll knock it over and it'll fall apart or whatever. The other one I found, Vintage Stock is a local chain that carries movies. DVD was their primary thing, but they also have a large vinyl record collection. They have a lot of different kind of things, but several of them have toys. The one near me has lots of vintage collectible toys, and they have sales. They have regular sales, like for Labor Day or for Memorial Day. They'll have buy two get one free, that sort of thing. So I do still go there. If nothing else, I like to look at it. I think they have people that trade in a lot of older toys and stuff, but they also have these bins. I don't know that they have them anymore, and I think during COVID maybe they got rid of them, but they used to have these giant bins just scattered around the store that would be full of loose action figures, and I think they're $5 for $5, so you could just dig through there, and they definitely have well used and well played with vintage Star Wars action figures, but they also have a lot of newer figures, and of course there's He-Man and just any kind of action figure. They're all just thrown in there, and literally I think it is that for little kids that go into the store, you can be like, okay, let's pick out some action figures, and you could do that, but anyway, I was walking by one years ago, and I saw this guy. Now this is not vintage, this is a newer line, right? And I'm trying to hold him a specific way here, because this is how I think when I saw him, he was like and I was like, hey, is that a biker scout? And I picked it up, and it was a biker scout. And so I immediately just grabbed him. I think I just glanced at him in the store because I had a few other figures, but I was like, a biker scout. And this guy, he's well articulated. I mean, this is obviously a 90s Power of the Force or newer. I mean, like, look at that leg. Like, you could turn his leg, his ankles turn and everything like that. Like, this is not the Star Wars I had, the old 5 points of articulation figures from when I was a kid. But anyway, I got this guy home and I set him up, and I was like, there's something wrong. Let me put it there. By the way, that arm is not at an angle. Let me make sure let me put his arms straight down. So there's the right arm. That arm's not at an angle. It's missing. This biker scout may have been the one that crashed on Endor into the tree that was in that giant explosion. So this is he's not, I guess you could say one arm, but I would say more, he's like 1.5 armed guy. So he is the rare 1.5. Now he does have, if you look on the ankle, it's such a cool little thing, but right on the ankle, there is his little holster, if you can see it down there. So he has a little holster. He does not have his gun. But this guy is so detailed. It's like way more detailed than the action figures that we had as a kid. So when I picked it up, I was like, oh, this guy's awesome. And got him and set him up. And then immediately noticed that he was missing one of his 2 arms there. So he's like a 1.5 armed guy. So what I normally do, I'm looking for another action figure or something. I don't have anything really sitting right here. But what I do is, like, when I put it on the shelf over there, like, I would put it like this. So I kind of like block, what's going on or whatever. Like, oh, there's that guy and there's that guy. But I would hide them, so I usually set them up behind another figure or something, and kind of overlap them so that you can't really see that he's missing his arm. I think a normal person would probably just throw this away, but I just love the biker scouts so much that that I like. Man, there's so many points. Like he turns the waist. Like, that's not something we had as kids. His arms move. He moves at the wrist. He moves at the elbow. He moves at the shoulder. His head turns. It goes up and down like a Fisher Price person, like he can nod. His leg moves. His knee moves. And I'm just fascinated by how much the advances in action figure technology. Just a sentence I never thought I would say. So anyway, you got this biker scout over here. You got this biker scout over here. Hey, buddy, you're a little tiny over there. Sorry, Junior. Have a good day at work. Well, now you know what I do all day. So anyway, yeah, I dig the biker scout. One of my favorite guys. And what I'm used to do with my Star Wars collection was I would have, like, all my action figures together, all the ships together, all the things, but what I've started doing, as you can see, like on that shelf that's right above my head, those are all Darth Vaders. Actually, there's a couple of Darth Mauls in there. But that's basically a whole shelf of Darth Vaders. And so I will have a whole shelf of Yoda. I will have a whole shelf. There's another one kind of right there. That is a shelf. It's as I find them. Those are all R2-D2s from different things. So there will be a shelf of R2-D2s. And so there are, not too many figures like that, but I would say Darth Vader, Yoda, R2-D2. Those would probably be, I wouldn't think Ewoks would probably get their own thing. I think that's probably it, but there'll be one probably just for biker scouts. Like, I've got a lot of biker scouts. And, so I'm looking forward to, oh man, so many projects, so little time. Did I tell you I bought I'm not going to say it. But I got this other project with 4 wheels that's sitting in the driveway now. So anyway, I'm going to hop off here. I'm actually going to hop over and watch Aaron and the Brent for their ARG Presents tonight. And gosh, I think that's everything. You Don't Know Flack will be out tonight. And then in just a few days, we will have an episode of Like a DOS. Not going to lie, I've got 2 or 3 games. I haven't decided on which one I'm going to do. But got lots of time. Also, my wife is going out of town this week, and she leaves Wednesday, which means, Wednesday night, of course, we'll be streaming, but that means Thursday I will have the house to myself, and Friday, actually, it'll be 6 days. So lots of time to podcast and get caught up on projects. So maybe the van will be done by then. Just kidding. It's going to take me a year. All right, everybody. I'll see you guys soon.